Hi guys, today I want to do another dental video on how to thrive your first 3 months as an orthodontic assistant. Let's get right into this video. Let's go. So initially when you first go on as an orthodontic assistant with no experience, it can be really intimidating because it's a lot of information to learn. Going in, you want to just make sure that you're ready to absorb all of the information and know that it will be a lot and not to get overwhelmed. To know that going in so you don't get discouraged. I think that's really important because you don't want to go in there thinking, okay, I'm going to learn it, I'm going to know it, and I'm going to be really well. Because your first week there, that's all you're doing is learning the information. Your first day, you're going to go home like, oh my gosh, can I do this? I'm going to tell you, yes, you can. If you just have confidence and never give up, and if it's something you really want to do, just keep going. You're going to get to the other side. First couple of days, all you're doing is watching and shadowing. You want to make sure that you're paying attention and you're watching every detail and just taking everything in. If you're at this time just watching one person, that would be really helpful because everybody does things differently. So I would suggest just shadowing and watching one person when you first get hired. When watching, you want to make sure you ask a lot of questions. Along with asking a lot of questions, you want to get the opportunity to work hands-on. Watching and studying is different from actually working on a patient. You want to know that after you study, you may not click with certain procedures that you study on paper when you do it hands-on. Studying with paper and looking up videos is different than actually doing the procedures. There's only so much you can do. You need hands-on experience. So whenever you can get the opportunity to work and try to do the procedures hands-on, go ahead and do it. Even if you think you're not ready, just go ahead and start, because that's the only way you're going to learn. May have you wait maybe a week before you start hands-on, and some may allow you to start after a couple of days. But if you are approached with the opportunity to start whenever you feel comfortable, never wait until you feel comfortable. Go ahead and start hands-on right away, because the more you practice, the better you'll get at it. Once you start working hands-on, know that you're not going to get it right. You're going to be nervous and you're going to mess up. Just keep that mindset, because you don't want to go in there big-headed, because you're just going to set yourself up to be upset, and you don't want that to happen. Another big thing you want to keep in mind, you want to have confidence. Even though you're learning and you're having somebody assist you and you're shadowing, you want to have confidence when you're practicing. That's really important because the patient will feel your vibe. Even though you're learning, have confidence that you're going to do it right and that you're going to get it. You can't be so nervous where you make the patient uncomfortable. Most patients, you know you're new and you're shadowing when you start watching. But when you initially get your first couple of patients, the patients, they won't know you're new, especially if you're doing a procedure where a patient's coming in for the first time to get braces. They don't know you're new. So if that's your first time working on that patient, just have confidence and keep going with the flow. If you have a question, walk away from the patient so the patient, you'll be back for a second and speak with an assistant in the back. You do not want to ask questions about how to do things in front of a patient. That is a big no-no. You just don't want the patient to feel that you're incompetent, because if the patient feels that way, they're not going to feel comfortable. They're not going to want you working on them, and you don't want that to happen. So just keep your confidence. If you need help, ask for help. And if you have a question, just ask the question aside from the patient. Along with confidence, you want to make sure you show that confidence not only in front of the patient, but in front of the doctor. So the doctor already knows that you're learning. So they know you're going to mess up. But if you have confidence, that's really going to shine in front of the doctor, because I know most orthodontists, they look for that when hiring orthodontic assistants, because assisting in orthodontics is challenging and you have more responsibility. So if you don't have confidence, this is not going to be the job for you. So make sure you have that confidence in front of the doctor. Like the doctor may say, hey, do you think you could do this? Say yes. Don't say no. Say yes, I got it. And the only way you're going to know or have opportunities to know that you have it or to become good at it is to practice. So just go ahead and say yes and go ahead and do it. Or if you're not confident all the way, even though you're trying to be confident, you say, oh, I got it, and maybe so-and-so can assist. Just always say yes to opportunities and yes to just trying to learn something new. Once you start seeing more patients by yourself, you'll start to know what your strengths and your weaknesses are. Like say, you know, hey, I've gotten really good at putting braces on, but I'm really slow and still learning how to take braces off and do impressions. Initially, when you find those things out, you'll find yourself wanting to do more patients with bonding, which is putting braces on instead of taking braces off, and you'll try to pull those patients only. But I want to say to you guys, try not to do that. Like when you're new and you have patients coming in, they'll tell you, okay, just get the patients that you know how to work on or that you know how to do, so we can keep the flow of the office, you know, going smoothly. But you're still new, so you can still take your time and still go overtime without, you know, being penalized for it. So in your learning stage, take the opportunity to pull patients and work on patients that you don't know how to do yet and that you haven't gotten really good at. So if you're not good at taking braces off and somebody comes in to get their braces taken off, don't skip that patient or give that patient to somebody else. Go ahead and jump on it and grab that patient and work on that patient and get the help and assistance you need while you're still learning. So before you know it, you've gotten more practice on all of your weaknesses. So at the end of your 90-day review, you've mastered everything. So when I first started, I found myself doing that. I had a couple patients. I started seeing more patients on my own, and I would only pull patients I know how to do. Initially, I became really good at putting wires on, changing colors, putting braces on, taking braces off. My weakness was doing Invisalign and doing appliances like expanders or fit and bend. Whenever I seen those patients come in, I would let the other assistants know, like, hey, you can grab that person. I'm gonna wait for bonding so I can put braces on, because I'm not really good at that. But I stopped doing that maybe after about 2 days, because I realized if I never practice, I'll never get better. And it kind of worked out in my favor because I caught that early on during my learning stage. After I got more practice in doing different things I had weaknesses in, like Invisalign and expander appliances, the better I got at it. And I just want to encourage you guys to do the same. Just try to work on procedures that you don't know so you can just get more practice in. Even after you've gained experience and you know how to do all the procedures, you're going to have days where things go wrong. And it's nothing that you're doing or the doctor's doing. Things just go wrong. For example, you'll have braces fall off after you've just put the braces on. You'll have patients come back in because they have appliances get loose the next couple of days. But you just have to keep your confidence up and know that sometimes it's nothing that you did. I remember I think it was like 2 or 3 weeks in, I started seeing patients. I had one patient, I kid you not, was tying him in. As I'm tying him in, a brace comes off. I'm like, oh my gosh, all right, let me just go ahead and prep to get the brace back on. I prep him, doctor comes over, puts the brace back on. I'm like, all right, cool. So I can put his wire back in and I tie him back up. As I'm tying him back up, another brace comes off. I'm like, oh my goodness. Doctor comes back, puts the brace back on. Another one comes off. I was like, this is the worst day of my life. In that moment, if I didn't keep my composure, like in my mind, I wanted to just walk out the door. I was just like, oh my goodness. Some of the assistants, they were just looking like, okay, what's going on? But doctor, during lunchtime, came into the room and said, Takeyah, I just want to let you know that you're doing a good job. And that last picture you had, it was nothing that you did wrong. He just has that, I don't know the right terminology. If you know it, you can comment it down below. But he has like white stains on his teeth. And sometimes it's hard for brackets to adhere on those type of teeth that have white stains. So he said, I just want to tell you, you're doing a good job. That was nothing that you did and that the patient had so-and-so. I was like, oh my goodness. I felt relieved. But let me tell you guys, what happened, that story I just told you, has happened again at my new office that I'm working at now. It happened right after I got hired, because okay, let me back up. My husband and I, we just recently moved, so I recently just started working at a new orthodontic office. At this new office, I've only been there for like not even 6 months yet. So I'm still new, but I have experience, so it's different. So the same thing happened, my 4th week, 5th week, the same thing happened. I got really embarrassed, was really nervous, and mind you, I already know how to do everything. I'm an experienced assistant. So this was kind of embarrassing because I still wanted to look good, you know, because I'm new, but I'm also experienced. So the bracket came off 3 times and the doctor came back over. He said, all right, if this bracket doesn't stay on, we may have to get a band, which is the tooth ring. It ended up staying on that last time, but he had another assistant work in the same chair that I was in, and she had the very same thing happen to her like 20 minutes right after me. Right after I finished up my patient left, another assistant came in, brought another patient, and worked in the same chair that I worked in, and had the same problem. So I felt relieved. So I was like, okay, the doctor's not going to think something's wrong with me. He's not going to think I messed up, because it's not just me. It's also happening to another assistant. So come to find out, the conditioner that we use to wipe on the teeth before we bond brackets, come to find out the conditioner that was at that chair that myself and the other assistant was using had gone bad. And also the light that we used to harden the glue, the batteries was kind of dead, kind of low, so that is what didn't allow the brace to stay. But if I didn't know that, or if I didn't keep my composure, I could have walked off or been mad at that moment when those braces didn't stay on. But I held my composure, kept my confidence, and come to find out, it was nothing that I did wrong. And I'm just basically telling you guys these stories because they will happen. Whether you're new, whether you're experienced, these things will happen. They happen all of the time. And you have to be a person who, you know, is really tough, really confident, and someone who just doesn't give up. No, you will mess up while you're learning, while you're new. Just brush it off. The doctor knows you're learning. Just keep practicing. I find that most orthodontists, they have to be confident as well, and you know, have tough skin and like go with the flow, because they know that that too will happen. When you're first working on patients, you will become nervous if you have parents come back. A lot of parents do come back. You just have to make sure, again, you keep that confidence, especially in front of the parents. Just like a patient doesn't want to see that you're not confident working on them, neither does the parent. Parents who come back there, they're not watching you like all the time. They're just back there, you know, on their phone, making conversation with their child while you're working. However, if it's an appointment that's a bonding, like say the person's coming in for a bonding and this is their first time here, yes, the parent is watching you detail from detail. I find that it's really important that you explain not only to the patient what you're doing and step from step what you're going to do, but you also explain to the parent. So while you're explaining the procedures and what you're doing with the patient, you also explain it to the parent. You know, just make eye contact with both and make sure that they know what you're going to do. So that way you can avoid having those questions from the parents while you're working. Because if you don't explain it to the parent and the patient, the mom's gonna be like, okay, so what are you doing now? Oh, hey, what's that? And that can be really irritating while you're working and you're new, you know, still learning everything. So that's really important. Even when the parent is not with the patient, you want to always make sure you explain to your patient what you're doing, what they're getting done today, and just make sure they know what their teeth look like before they leave out. I always like to give my patient a mirror if they get anything new. Like if they get a chain and they didn't have a chain previously before, I would want my patient to see how that looks before they leave out. Also want to make sure that you're doing your best. Knowing that you have a review after your first 3 months can be beneficial to you. So even though they're evaluating you, you want to make sure that you're evaluating yourself, because at the end of your 90 days, that's the opportunity for you to potentially get a raise and potentially, you know, let the doctor see like, hey, I'm a good fit for this office. So you just want to make sure you're doing anything that you can to make yourself look better. Like make sure you come in early. When you guys don't have patience and you're slow, you want to make sure you're staying busy. Never stand still if you have the opportunity to do other things like clean, stock, ask other assistants if they need help. That will be seen by the doctor and by your supervisor. If you do that, when you have your 90 days review, the doctor will mention that, your supervisor will see that, and you will potentially stand out and get your raise. You want to go above and beyond. I like that you have this review, even though it's the opportunity to be let go. It could help you because it could be an opportunity, you know, to get more and to just, you know, shine as an employee. Most people do 90 days review, but if you don't have a 90-day review, I would go ahead and encourage you guys to ask for a review after your first 3 months, just so you can have the opportunity to speak with the doctor or your supervisor about what you need to work on, and also potentially ask for a raise. Because initially when you get hired on as an orthodontic assistant with no experience, you will get basically whatever they offer you because you have no experience. At that review is your opportunity to potentially get more. So you want to make sure you have that presented for yourself. Thank you guys so much for watching this video. If you found this helpful, go ahead and give it a thumbs up. Comment any questions you may have. I love doing videos like these only because when I first got hired as an assistant, that was the first thing I did was research. And I know this video will be helpful for other people. Thank you so much, and I'll see you in my next video.